All right, well, it's been about a month since we put on the front bumper, and it's been working awesome. I've had to use the winch a couple times. I've hit it on a rock. Didn't dent it though, not at all. It's got a few bugs on it, but man, otherwise it's straight, level. This bumper's badass. But I haven't done the rear yet, which is where this comes in. Just like the front, we got a middle section, 2 wings, the brackets for mounting to the vehicle, and we're putting on a pair of sideliner pods from FCK. So let's do it. Now we have the stock bumper off. You can see it's a little tarnished. It ain't too bad, but the plastic's flapping off. The license plate light things, these break all the time. You step on them by getting on here. But we just need to salvage the sensors off of this. And those will go into those ports over there. We're gonna start by installing the wings to the main center section. Now we're looking at the inside of the bumper. This is going to be the passenger side. That's the driver's side. In order to maintain the orientation of these backup sensors, we're going to label them. Be nice at these. Yep, there we go. There. That now it works too well. 2. We'll do a little dippy do there. 3. That looks a lot like a 3, I'm sure. All right. Now we'll know left to right how to put these in properly. Come on, you fuck. Now these sensors have 2 tangs right here and right here that hold them in. So you should just be able to, and I didn't practice this before filming, lift those up, just slide these straight out. All right, I grabbed the screwdriver here really flat. I want to get this part right in here. No, see it. It's right there. Just gonna jam this in. Jam it in, and then pull it out. Yep, that works. Okay, you're just gonna have to trust it. Okay, there she is. Orientation. So I went ahead and removed the sensor housings. Like removing the sensors, you pull these tangs out. These go in. So there's 2 plus this one here. Just push that 3rd one in and that thing slips out the hole. Now we need to install them on here. And it's the same pattern where, well, I can't reach far enough almost, but these 2 tangs go in that one and that one. Okay. So these should slide. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what the manual says. Please keep in mind the new bumper is thicker than the factory bumper. The sensor housing may need adjustment, trimming, or gluing to hold them in place. Once the sensors and housings have been transferred over to the new bumper, you may use a small drop of super glue behind the front flange of the sensor housing to keep the sensor to sit flat against the bumper face. Now this is typical of all aftermarket bumpers with sensor housings. Let's try it again. And these housings, okay, so what I've seen is, right, they're tapered like this, and they're all supposed to be thick side up, thin side down, as I've seen with all these others by putting them in kind of wrong. So they should just snap in like that. And at least on the Ford here, they snap in just perfect. So I don't have to do anything. This is awesome. Well, of course I said that too soon. That tab's sticking up just a little bit. So I'm going to have to go with a knife and just trim that ever so slightly so it locks behind the thicker metal of the bumper. Now you can see that these tangs cut down with the razor, just a little razor blade, just a little trim here, just enough to where I had to push in and it snapped. So these things, they do not move at all. They don't go any more in, any more out. That is solid. All 4 sensor housings installed. Okay, we have all our sensors in. Now let's get our sideliner pods. That's not going to work. That's a giant gap. Too much gap. Okay, trying this again, but instead of having it on the orientation that the bracket is there, I turn the bracket around and it's much shorter. Okay, whatever, the phone doesn't want to focus. Yeah, that is much better. Boom. That alignment's much, much better. We will roll with that. We jumped ahead a little bit and put the 4 bolts into the frame for the bumper. It's a bit of a shimmy marathon, just getting it all lined up, but now that it's in, it's just going to need to be lifted up, aligned a little bit. Let's see here. I'm gonna lift this until it kind of levels out. Something like that. Play with this side a little bit. We'll just work on this for a few more minutes. I think we're done. I had to take the lights out because they were just too much of a pain in the way for the bolts mounting to the frame. But those are super easy to put back in with the wings on the truck. So I recommend personally putting these lights on after you get all that set up. Now you can take the whole thing off and just adjust the tilt like this once you have everything figured out. But 0.14 degrees this way, that's in relation to the rocket rack and the top of the bed tailgate. And then when you zero it out across the length of the bed, come on, we're looking at a little bit high here. I could tweak that. Well, if you look at the main section there, it's actually, that's where I measured from, was the main part. So yeah, there's a little variance between that and this. Very, very minute, but I mean, take it away. That thing's looking straight and pimp. So I like it. All right, with the little polish here. On this rainy day, now finished the Chassis Unlimited Octane Series rear bumper for my Super Duty.